Mike Tyson. You listen to the XY show, and I think you'll enjoy it. It's going to be ecstatic.
The opinions expressed on the X and Y show are the sole opinions of the host. Please note, there is no intentional desire to offend any member of the listening audience. With that said, if you still feel offended, tough shit.
It's time for the X and Y show with your host, Mr. Roosevelt. He talks about man topics, lady topics, and relationships. He talks about love, sex, and infidelities. He even gives good tips. There is no other show that compares to the X and Y show.
Oh yeah. Sit back, take your clothes off, and relax. It's time for the X and Y show, where real relationship issues are talked about and addressed. The only place on the planet that tackles the topics that everyone wants to talk about, but no one is brave enough to address. Nothing escapes X and Y, baby. Now, here's your host, Roosevelt Colbert.
And greetings. Welcome to another segment of the X and Y Show, and I'm your host, Roosevelt. So it has been a very, very long time, and I must admit, I did not. Those of you who have been listening to the X and Y Show for a few years, you know that I usually take a little break after the birth months, after the holidays, and then come back in the new year, a couple of weeks or so. But this time, I haven't recorded since the birth months, since Christmas. And it's mid-May. I did not mean to stay out this long, but I didn't realize how tired I was. I just needed a break. I was just getting burnt out. A lot that happens to a lot of podcast hosts. They just do a lot and they never take a break. Even on TV, my cousin, Stephen Colbert, I'm just kidding. We're not related. He takes breaks. He does, he records a season and then he takes a month off or 2 months, Everyone takes a break, and I've usually taken a break, but only like for a couple of weeks or something. And that's really nothing. So I was just getting burnt out, and I didn't realize how tired I was. Not tired of podcasting, not tired of hosting, just tired, just needing a break. And, that's why it took so long for me to come back. But from here on out, I'm going to take more than the 2 weeks after the holidays. I'm going to take a month after the holidays going forward. And mid-season before the holidays, before the birth months, I'll probably take 2 to 3 weeks. So I think if I do that, I should be okay, because podcasting is hard work. A lot of you motherfuckers think just getting in front of a mic and just talking and, that shit ain't easy. So I'm going to try that way and, and see how that works. Now, it's been a lot of other things that happen, I had surgery. I had surgery on my finger. I had a trigger finger. I don't know how I got that. I don't know if you can get trigger finger by putting your finger up a pussy. But but I had to get it done. I couldn't bend my damn fingers, so I had to get surgery on the finger, and I'm still actually recovering from that. That was like a month ago. Just all kind of shit happening, trying to get the fuck out of Florida. I'm really trying to get out of here. Go somewhere that's a change of season, that gets cold. This episode, I'm just going to rap to you. I'm just catching up with you. So I'm not going to have a real episode tonight. I'm just catching up with you because it's been so long. And that is, besides, taking a break, surgery, that's what has happened, amongst other things. So that's why it took so long. But I do want to rap to you a minute. I'm glad to be back. I hope you all are glad that I'm back. I'm very glad to be back. I really enjoy podcasting. I really enjoy the content that I produce. I enjoy the content that I put out, and I enjoy talking about it. That's the key. You have to enjoy what you're doing. So I stayed out because I was getting tired. I was tired. I was exhausted. Physically, not physically, but like mentally, and physically too. But it was just, you're so tired you don't realize it. But I do enjoy podcasting, but I just needed a break. Damn, even the president take a break. He goes to Camp David, and so everyone needs a break, a real break. So I have to start doing that, so I won't get burn out like so many other podcast hosts. You see them one week and the next month they're gone. So I've been doing this a long time, and I do enjoy it. So I just need to take breaks. So I will do that from here on out. But like I said, this episode I'm kind of rapping to you, kind of like a welcome back thing. Glad to be back. But I do want to say something to you. I'm going to talk about death a little bit. I'm just going to brush on it a little bit. I'm going to tell you why I want to talk about this. A little weird thing happened to me yesterday, right? Today's the 19th, so it happened on the 18th, right? So I was going to interview this person. I was going to reach out to her and talk to her about being a successful woman in your career, but not being married. And, I was just going to ask her questions on, her independence, and if you can do things all over again, would you do it, or would you change anything? Are you lonely? The whole gambit. So this person is very successful. She's very successful, and I thought about interviewing her because, I don't know, I just a hunch. I just went with her. Thought that she would say yes to the interview. I've heard her she's on CNN a lot. Well, she was on CNN a lot. She filled in for Laura Coates on her show. She was a commentator for CNN. So she was very successful, and her name was Alice Stewart, right? So you can Google her. Her name is Alice Stewart. Very educated. Went to University of Georgia. She's a fellow at Harvard. So I thought she would be a perfect fit. So I was out and about yesterday. I said, actually had to work yesterday, but I told I told myself, as soon as I get home, I'm going to look up her people. Excuse me. Look up her people, a publicist or whatever, to get a hold of her and see if I can get this interview. At least ask her. That was at about 2:00 p.m. yesterday, right? So I get home, and you get home. Well, at least I get home, and surfing through my phone, just looking at different, stuff on the internet, and she comes by. A picture of her comes by, and says, "Alice, CNN commentator Alice Stewart dies at 58." And, I don't know this woman. I don't know her from Adam Apple. I don't know anything about her, but it was that hit me for some reason. I was just looking for this woman to speak with her early in the day. And they say she probably died. Actually, when I was looking at her and deciding that I want to interview her, she was probably already dead. But, when I found out that this woman was no longer on this earth, that kind of hit me. It's still fucking with me. And like I said, I don't know her. I don't know her middle name. I don't know her favorite food. I don't know shit about this woman. But that, for some reason, fucked with me yesterday. And it's really fucking with me today as well. How quick we can be gone from this planet. How quick we can be gone from this planet. That woman, and she was in good shape. She's very attractive, and she did marathons. So, it wasn't like she was out of shape or anything. She was, healthy, right? Unless, unless it's something else that we didn't know about. But for all, for the eye to see, she was healthy. And now she's gone. And we lost a lot of people, Lou Gossett, he was old, but still, we lost him, and lost Apollo, Carl Weathers, and so many others. David Sanborn, the saxophone player. A lot of people I grew up with, looking at some form or another on the movies or listening to them on the radio. And I'm forgetting about a lot of it. It has been a lot of people that have left this planet within just the last month, let alone from the time that I've spoken with you, from Christmas, 5 months. So many people. Just in the last month, there's been so many deaths. People leaving this place. And, now that I'm getting older, I think about that a lot, like how much time do we really have? Right. And I'm saying that, like how much time, think to yourself, how much time do I have? Even if you're in your 20s, you're listening to this show, you could be dead tomorrow. You can be dead tomorrow. There was an actor, I forget his name, died at 26. They found him in the hotel room. So it's not like it used to be, just old people dying. Now people in their 20s and their 30s are leaving this place. So I don't know about you, but every time I see someone who passes away, especially all of a sudden, they're not sick or anything, it makes me think, like, how long do I have? How long do I have? And of course, none of us know that, right? When Alice Stewart woke up yesterday morning, she had probably had a coffee, had a breakfast, probably went for a morning run, jog, or whatever. She had no idea that later that day she would be gone. The night before, when she ate dinner, she probably went out to dinner with her friends, or maybe she cooked a steak at home. Maybe she went and caught a movie or something. She didn't realize that would be her last movie. That would be her last steak. That would be her last dinner. We don't know. We don't know how much time we have left. When is it time for us to punch out? We don't know. And this is why I think it's very important to me. And I'm learning this as I get older, that, a lot of petty stuff that you're mad at someone about, they did this, they did that, and they made me feel bad, and, they stole $5 from me, and all kind of petty bullshit that many of us hold grudges for years. And I'm not saying that forget. I'm not saying that forget. All I'm saying is just forgive. And because we really don't know how much time we have. And then, when the person passes away, then we want to show how much we love that person. Man, I wish we could have just went out one last time. I wish I could have talked to him one last time. Then that kind of stuff come out, even though you haven't spoken in 10, 20 years over some bullshit that happened 2 decades ago. We don't know how much time we have left. There is no time to hold petty grievances on a person. There's no time. You look around, you're 20 years old, you look around, you're in your 60s, you look around again, you're in your 80s. If you're blessed to reach that far. So, I'm just going to touch on that briefly. I'm not going to dwell on that. Like I said, today is not an episode per se. It's just a rapping to you, like a welcome back. I'm glad to be back, and I just want you to know I'm still here. I'm still here. The XY show is going to be bumping, baby, and I got some stuff lined up. But I just want you to think about that until, next week. How much time do you have left? Before you check out, or before the person you've been mad at 20 years for some bullshit you don't even remember. How much time do they have to check out? And then when they're gone, it's too late. You can send all the flowers and condolences and everything. You can do all of that, but it's too late. It's too late because the person's gone, and they're not going to see what you're doing. They're gone forever. So, I'm not lying. You can look at, you see the news. You see how many people are dying every day. I'm almost afraid to open the internet, because every time you see someone's picture, you're like, oh, shit. Every time you see someone's picture, it's a 50-50 chance they're gone. Actually, more than that. I would say like 70-30 when you see a picture. So, other than people that it's just something to think about. That's all I want you to do. Just think about what I'm saying. I know everyone has someone that they haven't spoken to, or they're mad about some dumb shit. Some of you are even mad at parents, your mother and father. You haven't spoken to your mother and father for 20, 30 years. And then when they die, you're like, oh, daddy. It's too late. He can't hear you. Or mommy, they can't hear you. When they go, it's too late. So I just want you to think about that. I'm just rapping to you a little bit tonight. Think about how much time do you have till you punch out of here. I know I think about that. I do. A lot. Especially since I don't have any kids. I'm not really leaving a legacy per se. So I'm really thinking about how long, is it to my clock? My time comes up. And you need to think about it as well. So that's all I'm going to say. I'm going to just wrap it to you a little bit. Welcome back, Roosevelt. I welcome myself back. The XY show is here to stay. We're not going anywhere. Next week, I'm interviewing a madam for a brothel. So we're going to start off the season with a real thumper. She basically, like, if you heard of the Bunny Ranch, but it's another type of business that does the same thing. So it's just not, it doesn't get as much publicity. Everyone knows about the Bunny Ranch because of HBO. But this one is the same thing, and it's probably actually a little better because it's not as commercial, if that makes sense. But anyway, so check that out. That episode is going to drop next week. And then after that, you'll have me, and then I'll probably do another interview. So the X and Y show is back to stay, baby. And I'm glad that you're back with me. And I hope that this new season is a great one for us all. I want to thank you for waiting on me and being patient. And I want to thank you for listening to me all this time. And I ask for your continuous support of the X and Y Show. And I also want you to remember that you cannot have love or lust without X and Y. See you next week.